But I'm glad we're here. We're celebrating the new year, 2024. Doesn't it feel like that's probably going to be the last year that we... I don't know why, but 2025 seems hard to imagine. 2024 might be the last one, you know? I don't know. It's going to be a big year. We're going to answer a lot of questions, I think. Like, can a country participate in a world war while also having a civil war at home? I think that's going to be a big question next year. And listen, I am not pushing for a civil war. I don't want that. That would mess with my tour schedule. I would not be into a civil war. I hope it doesn't happen. But also, if it does, is it really technically a civil war if only one side has weapons? Like, technically, you know what I mean? If one side's like, hey, and the other side's like, whoa, like, oh, you were serious. All right. I thought we were just talking trash on the internet. I didn't know you meant it. All right. Anyway, it's good to be here. I like this mix. This is good. I haven't been to Oklahoma City since 2021. Is anyone here at that show? Yeah, all right. One guy. All right. That's what I like. Return business. That's what I like. One guy was like, yeah, I'm coming back for that. Everyone's like, we've seen it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If I had known, I wouldn't have asked the question. But here we are, man. I like it out here. I like it. You just come in. It's nice and flat. It's good. It's like... I love it. This whole area is just like a well-made bed for a tornado. Just nice and... Like, I get why it works here, you know? You're like, oh, yeah, I can just go anywhere right there. It's not impeded by mountains or too many big things. It can just rip right through whatever it wants. Yeah, it's hard to laugh at because you guys live here. I get it. As soon as I said it, I'm like, what am I doing right now? This is what these people live with. And I'm like, right? Wicked tornadoes? And you're like, yeah. Ha 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 ha. What's wrong with this guy? Yeah, I'm glad I'm here. We flew in today. I came in from New York. It was weird. Normally it's a direct flight, but there's no direct JFK to Oklahoma City. I had to connect. So that's always fun. I looked it up. Nobody. Not Spirit. Nobody. That means no one's doing direct business between Oklahoma City and you're like, what? Yeah, I mean, we can get you there. What time you gotta be there by? Yeah, we can do that. You like Atlanta? You're gonna stop in Atlanta. So you're gonna stop for a little bit. Good. Yeah, we had, I don't know, man, people are annoying. This is the time of year where people are extra annoying. This is when people fly that don't fly. And they just kind of stand there, you know? They get off a plane, and they'll just be like, where's my next gate at? And they'll just stop in the middle of the jetway. There's a whole line of people behind them going, excuse me, can you die? Can you move to the side and die? That would be great. I have to see where my next gate is. I'm like, you're never going to make it at this pace. I'm going to let you know that right now. We had a lingerer. We were waiting for the next flight to board, this one, and there was a dude, he had the worst breath. Have you ever had someone interrupt your conversation that they weren't in with just their breath? I've never had that happen before. My wife and I were talking, and then I just, and I looked at her and I knew it wasn't her. You ever smell some breath and you're like, I know my wife, that is not her. And it was that middle-aged man breath. You know that breath where you're like, oh, that's from deep inside. That's some long-seated regret and whiskey and an undigested piece of filet mignon that kind of came up. And he wasn't even talking. He was just one of these guys. And he wafted into our faces, and I'm like, ah! And we both stared at him, but he's one of those guys just completely out to lunch, just like, uh-huh. And then we shimmied over, and he followed. And I'm like, what is wrong with humanity? We're driving to Tulsa from Oklahoma City. Last night's show was last night's show. It went well. It went great. Tried out a bunch of new jokes. They worked. They didn't work. You know, it's trying out new jokes. But now I'm in this high-end Hyundai Palisade, which I think is a neighborhood where the Kardashians live. This car has a feature, and they really should tell you about these features when you rent the car. Once we got on this highway and we started going straight, the seat just hugged my sides, like came up around me, like a creepy boss in an 80s movie coming up behind the secretary to give a nice little shoulder massage. That's what this just did. It just went, and it just made me go, oh, I need a raise. That's what it made me feel. It's Emma's day to decide what we're doing. She picked Hobby Lobby.
I've never been.
This is where you wanted to hang out. Let's get this over with.
Stop pretending like you don't want to go to Hobby Lobby.
I will be on my phone a lot. I honestly don't know which one to pick.
Look who came around to Hobby Lobby.
I didn't know they had this in here. Like this human anatomy. It all comes apart in case you want your kid to grow up to be a doctor or a serial killer. You remember Stretch Armstrong? This is the new version. You can pull them 4 times. 4 times the stretch.
I love how I'm done.
I'm not done.
You're still looking.
I don't want to be rushed.
We're still here.
I said I'm a big fan of the Hoblob.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's Hobby Lobby for short. This is the Airbnb section. This is what you put up at your Airbnb if there's a pond in the backyard. Let's make it look all beachy. We just ate at the Dilly Diner. Delicious. More salt than you could ever hope for. It's one of the best cups of coffee I've ever had. I drink it black, and it's just dark and roasty and chocolatey. But it's so good to be here. I've been to Tulsa before. It's nice to be back. I like what you've done with the place. I'm a big fan. I like performing here. This feels like it used to be a furniture store. Like you can almost see someone trying out a Tempur-Pedic, you know. The salesman's like, we'll give you a 100-year warranty on this here mattress. And you're like, how long do you think I'm gonna live? You know? Seems a little extra. No one's passing out at a deathbed, you know? Thank you, 3 people. Everyone else, I'm like, well, why does that matter? Tempur-Pedic's a Tempur-Pedic, last time I checked. Had a good time. My wife and I checked out Tulsa. We went down to the downtown area. They have different names, but you know what I'm talking about. You know, there's like the big building part, and then there's the other part where there used to be real industry, but now you sell coffee over there. You know what I'm talking about, that area where you're like, oh yeah, that's when we used to do stuff and make stuff, and now there's someone making a latte, you know? We went down over there, we went and ate at Dilly's. Yeah, does anyone know that? Okay. I thought that was it. There's just one guy who's like, yeah, that's the place. Everyone else is like, huh, you ate there? Good luck. All right. I got a real judgy stare from this section over here. Like, he's not finishing this set. He's gonna be running for those double doors here in about 20 minutes. We had a good time. Good food, good coffee. That good, like, jacked up coffee where you're like, I can take over the world. You know? And then we thought about going to the mall, and there was a line, the traffic heading into the mall. We made a last second diverge into a Hobby Lobby. That's where we went. Yeah, it was my wife's idea. She's like, Hobby Lobby? And I'm like, what? And she's like, I've never been to one. And I'm like, it's just a bigger Michael's. And you're shaking your head, and you're right. You are correct. Because I went in there, and I was like, I was so wrong. I've never wanted to own a home more. Then as soon as I walked into a Hobby Lobby, I'm like, I want one of everything. We need a 10-bedroom house with a basement. I need a Nintendo controller doormat. I need 8 paintings of a cow with a hat on it. There were so many paintings of a cow with a hat. And I'm like, that means a lot of people are buying them. That meant they released one painting with a cow with a hat, and the general manager's like, you got any more? Because we're sold out. Might want to do different variations. Maybe some with a fedora. Maybe some with a sun hat. Let's have some variation, because people are getting grabby here in Tulsa for the cows wearing the hats. God, I loved Hobby Lobby. That was so good. Man, they have a giant toy section. I'm 36, but I gravitate to the toy aisle. That part of me has not grown up at all. And it's getting to the point where I'm like, we should have a kid just so this isn't as creepy. That's the only reason I want to have a kid, just so I'm not looking at the toys like, oh, boxing out kids. Like, hey, this isn't... I'm trying to get a look at the merchandise. I loved it. I actually bought a thing. I bought a model car. One of those, like, you put them together with the glue, and then you paint them. I remember I had one, like, in the 2nd grade, and my mom got it for me, and then I cried, and she built it. And I remember that's how it went. I opened it, and she's like, how's it going? And just tears welled up in my eyes. I was like, what's a crankshaft? And she ended up building it. It wasn't better. Bless her sweet little heart. She tried. That's not where the steering wheel goes. But I got this. It was like there's like levels. It's like level 1 to 5. I don't know if you've ever done this. And I thought it was like a medium 3 or something. I looked, it's a level 5. All right, it says 13 and up. But no, that's like for like, if you're 13 and you happen to be young Sheldon or something. That's what they mean. Not just I'm 36 and I opened the box and I'm like, they didn't give us nothing. They didn't paint. All the pieces look the same. I was just like, oh no. So I started looking up YouTube videos of other dorks that do this. And these people have tools. They have X-Acto knives. They have one of those lenses with the magnifying, with the light. And they're like shaving this one guy was like, oh, the body's a little warped. So he brought out a hairdryer and melted it a little to form it to the proper, and then he had a file and he had different types of sandpaper. Oh, you want to hit this with the 700 grit. Oh, here, you don't want to scuff that too much. I got 3,000 grit right there for the wheel well. You don't want to mess up the wheel well. And I'm just watching this YouTube video in my hotel room with an open box, plastic everywhere. And my wife's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I think I'm gonna light it on fire. I don't think I'm gonna do any of this. I'm about to call my mother crying on FaceTime. Going, you need to get to Tulsa. I don't know how to put together this 71 Oldsmobile. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. You ever do that where you think you want to be some way, but you know, that's not me at all. That's not me at all. 36, I should know who I am at this point. Just be good with it. Just be good with it, man. Had a good Christmas. Hope you guys had a great Christmas. We had a good one, my wife and I. We didn't do anything. We didn't visit family. We visited family before Christmas, so we could have Christmas just me and her. We had moved to New York this year, and we just had a New York Christmas, just me and her. We got us like little Amazon gifts the night before. We wrapped them and gave them to each other Christmas morning. My wife got me a robe. That's what she got me, which I've never owned a robe before, and I love it. That was a big mistake she made, was getting me a robe. I'm like, you're never gonna not see me in a robe now. If it was acceptable, I would do comedy in a robe. Just come out like Hugh Hefner, just and I'm in a robe. But it's, I loved it. I loved the way it felt. It's comfortable, but then I got a glance at myself in the mirror, and I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to be wearing a robe. I think robes are for women. I think that's who robes are for. They look good on women. Women look good in robes. They look relaxed. They look like they just came from the spa. Maybe got a facial, or maybe they just got out of a bubble bath after they had a glass of wine. They look very luxurious, relaxed. A man in a robe just looks like he got done with some illegal sex. That's what it looks like. It's a little sleazy. Right? Like, you look at a man in a robe, you can almost hear the siren in the distance. It's just a very upset Amish family off to the side. It's like, I'll be leaving soon. I like how people awe at that part. I didn't say what happened. That was your own imagination. You made up your own story at the end of that. But yeah, I think robes are for women, man. Like when my wife wears a robe, it's classy but sexy too. You're like, ooh, maybe something will slip out, you know? I was wearing a robe, my wife was like, oh, you're still supposed to wear underwear with it. Like, what are you? And I was like, that doesn't feel right. It's like wearing a hat on a hat. Why would I wear underwear with a robe? We had a good Christmas. It was a very good Christmas. Got a good robe. Yeah, we went out. We got lost in New York. That's what we did. We hopped on the subway, took it to Central Park, and with all the other tourists, you just went down. You're like, yeah, you were right. We made all the wrong decisions. We should have been at Hobby Lobby. That's where we should have been. Should have gone to Hobby Lobby, taken advantage of the sales. But instead, we went to Central Park, and we had fun. You know, it was a little too much. It was too many people. So we brought a little joint with us, took a little hit. You know, like we're like teenagers in a high school parking lot getting ready for algebra. Just a little something so the equations make sense, you know? And so we took a little toke at the park, and now we're high at the park, which is fun. I like being high at a park. That's where you should be high. You shouldn't be high somewhere else, like the Hobby Lobby, all right? They will kick you out. They're gonna call the police. They're like, this guy's been staring at that cow for so long. He's looking at it like it's a mirror, and it isn't. But yeah, I realized very quickly New York is not the city where marijuana goes with. That's not, you want all your senses in that city. You want to be up to speed with what's coming. Because we moved there in April, and I've been waiting for the moment where like a homeless guy comes up and starts something, and then I get to use my boxing, you know? Like I fantasized about this. I've been taking a boxing class for 6 years. I've never fought anybody, but you know, I hit the bag and the hand pillows, and if you've ever done that for like an hour, you're like, I think I might be a weapon of mass destruction. I'm pretty sure if anyone messes with me, they're gonna die. I don't think it's gonna go good for them. And so I've been fantasizing about this. I'm like, someone's gonna come up to my wife and go, blah, 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 and yell, and I'll be like, hey, hey, hey. And then I show up, give him a 1-2, give him maybe pivot, hit him with a hook. My wife's off to the side, oh my God. Can I wink at her while I'm in the middle of pugilism? Just give her a little... Want a couple shots? No? He's here. And then afterwards we go back and make passionate sweet love at home. That was my fantasy the entire time. And it finally happened. We were at Central Park, and a wild homeless man came up and yelled at my wife, but I was high. I wasn't ready. So he showed up and he's like, get out of my face! And he like spit and it landed on my wife, and I was like, whoa! That was my moment. And my wife, we did not make love that night, all right? We had a long conversation about protection and how I need to be there for her. And I was like, baby, I didn't know, like it was just, that's not the state of mind you need to be in for aggression. You know, like it all happened so fast and slow at the same time. He was fast and I was very slow. And it's just not how I wanted it to start. It's good. And you guys are here for New Year's, which is wonderful. And for the 7:30 show, you know? What a way to let us all know. You'll be in bed by 10. I love it. We'll be in bed by 10 o'clock with fuzzy slippers on. Watching the East Coast countdown. Try to kiss your significant other quickly before they fall asleep. And trust me, I wish I could join you. I wish. I have a show after this, and I'm not looking forward to it, all right? You know why? Because you guys get it. A good set, like the people that show up to a 7:30 New Year's Eve show, you guys get it. You know what New Year's is, all right? You know what it is. You don't want to start tomorrow with a hangover. You don't want to start a New Year. You know what New Year's is, all right? You've done enough of them. You get it. You get it. It's a new year. It's Sunday, all right? It's a Sunday. Let's act accordingly. This is the show I'm looking forward to. The 10:30 show? Those are people that have high expectations for their New Year's Eve. They're trying to make up for a horrible 2023 where everything went wrong. And they're like, but it's New Year's Eve, and I'm gonna drink all the drinks, and tomorrow it's a new me. And I gotta entertain broken people, all right? Those are broken people. I'm gonna have to make giggle. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull it off. Because I'm gonna be wishing I was in my hotel across the street, just laying with my wife, just dum-dum, like that's what I wanna go do. But we're doing it! it. All right. New Year's Eve in a strip mall. We're doing it. This is how it's meant to be done. Not at a 4-star hotel with a live band. No, we want to be across the parking lot from a Chipotle. A closed Chipotle. You guys will never forget the year you rung in 2024 in an over-air-conditioned den. All right, this is getting you ready for the climate change that is coming. It might be too cold next year. You got to get ready for it. Might be too hot next year. Gotta get ready for it. Get ready for it all. All right, thank you guys so much for coming out. I didn't know that's how I was gonna start. But I just started saying stuff. One more time for all the comics you've seen, and I make it loud for them. We're here. I like it. I was curious to know who was gonna come out, because I'm like the early show was packed with people that I could tell would be in bed by 10. And, which I've been in Tulsa for the last couple of days. It looked like most of the township. If I'm being honest, most of the town would look like they were going to bed by 10. Even just today, trying to go do some regular business. Most places were closed. And I was like, oh, maybe that's for, because it's New Year's. No, that's just every Sunday. Every Sunday is, you guys run Chick-fil-A hours around here. And so I was curious to know who's going to come out. And I like the group that we have. This is a ragtag group. Like, this feels like a meeting. I like this. This feels like a city council meeting, and we're gonna bring in the new year. I like that we're the only thing open in the strip mall. I like that. It's the only thing happening. Some cars are gonna drive by and like, whoa, there's a lot of cars parked. Something going on at the Cava? What's going on? Still getting Mediterranean bowls? What do we got? We got 7 minutes to showtime. When do we pull down the thing?
1 more minute.
In what?
5 minutes till.
5 minutes still, so 3 more minutes we're gonna do this. You can tell we rehearsed this to a T this morning. We were here going 5, 6, 7, 8. Listen, I don't want you to think we're running a ragtag situation. We're gonna pull up the finest YouTube live stream of the countdown. We are gonna project it on that screen, and boy, when I tell you, after that happens, I guess we go home. I don't, just split it with me, and we'll do it traditional, Oh, there's the big screen. I told you it was coming down. I didn't want it to frighten you. Make sure can you put Dick Clark, is Dick Clark still alive? God rest his soul. Carson Daly, perhaps? Who's the new Dick Clark? Ryan Seacrest? I'll take that one. Yeah, good old Ryan Seacrest. If someone would have said he was dead, I would have left the stage. I'd be like, not Ryan. He's the picture of health. But what we are going to do is I'm going to bring up all the comedians and my lovely wife to help bring in the new year. Please clap it up. Come on up, everybody. Oh, my wife Emma's coming in first. Come on up, sweetheart. We got Travis, and Cameron, and Landry left. He was the orange fella that thought you guys didn't like him. But don't worry, we gave him a pep talk. He's doing all right. He's flattening your guys' tires in the parking lot. This is good. We didn't plan this out. I got 4 minutes to kill with all you guys standing up here. God damn, we didn't plan this out at all. All right, well. Did you already do the Shawn Michaels thing? I did that, yeah. Dude, I rushed through that so fast because I knew they were dropping this. I was looking at my phone going, I gotta get through this story before they drop the thing. There it is. Who's that? Oh, we got an ad? Of course. Listen, we spared no expense to bring you guys the countdown. Once we're done getting through these Blue Chew commercials, we will show you. Thank you. That was for 3 people that listen to podcasts. Then we will get to the countdown. It's Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, Mariah Carey, Ariana Grande. All right, this is good. 10, 9. I'm sorry. It's too soon. I also want to bring up, I've had a lovely weekend working with these two, but it also looks like these two would have bullied me in high school for very different reasons, doesn't it? Like Travis, of course, just bullying me for being short, and then Cameron just for owning a Will Smith CD or something. Are you a big Will Smith fan?
Not allowed to get jiggy with it on my watch.
No, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. You look like you have an eclectic music taste. What is happening? What is this? Oh, I'm so glad I'm filming this. This is going on YouTube. Oh, this is... When I started, I told you we will not see 2025. And this is the best way to bring in the last year that there's ever been. Oh my God, please don't accidentally open your history. That would really change the show. Oh, bless his heart. Here we are. You want to right click on that. No. Can one of the wait staff help the fella out? Here we are. There, maybe that one. Nope. Wait, is that live? We don't know. Oh, no. Don't worry, I got a seconds on my Apple Watch. We'll get to it.
Elon Musk be doing 2024?
In 2023, the only thing we could agree on is Taylor Swift. We're going to be able to agree on in 2024? Taylor Swift again.
Counting down to the year.
Hey, all right, I know that guy.
Robin Roberts. Right before New Year's, rocking in.
It's kind of embarrassing to have way more famous people over my shoulder. And you're like, oh yeah, we could have done that.
We are nearly there, ladies and gentlemen. Have you had a good night here at the Sydney Opera House?
It's the Australian
good night
countdown.
At home,
all right.
ladies and gentlemen. What an amazing show we've had. A big thank you to you for being here tonight. To everyone watching at home, the ABC viewers are the best in the world.
This isn't even
It's
the
just
American
been incredible.
countdown.
And I'm just
I
going
want to
through the
mention.
checklist in my head, Charlie. What have we got? A whole bunch of
Couldn't have gone
fireworks.
worse.
Check. A global audience watching. Check.
Who are these
A TV
Aussies?
audience with the best seat in the house.
Yep.
Check.
Thank you to all the bands who performed tonight. King Stingray, Casey Donovan, Brett Perez, Angie McMahon, Mark and Eva Seymour, Genesis Owusu, Confidence Man, Harry Connick Jr., and Jess Malboy.
This couldn't have gone better.
Remarkable backing band. On drums, Brendan
Dude,
Tan.
we got
On
3
bass, Adam
seconds.
Ventura. Our guitarist, Kat Ayala. And
It's
Timmy
New Year
Temple.
now.
On
We didn't
keys,
even do a
Dave
countdown.
Allen, strings.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Jasmine
I'm
Barrett,
so
Aisha
sorry.
Goodman, and
Happy
Hannah
New
O'Connor.
Year.
Our brass team as well, they were amazing. And of course, our backing singers who were just phenomenal on stage.
I just looked behind the counter. There's no one working the booth. I love
Are you
it.
ready, ladies and gentlemen? It's almost
There's no one back there. That guy left.
7,
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Woo! Good old Australia. Yeah. USA. 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 That couldn't have been scripted funnier than how it came out. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Also, I'm going to be on tour all year, 2024. Might be the last one. So, go to zoltancomedy.com, look at the tour schedule. If you don't see your town, sign up for my mailing list. I promise I'm going to try to come, and I'll see you out there on the road.